Welcome to the Christian Dad Podcast, your place for encouragement and practical tips on how to be a great dad. Today, I have a super special guest, my Lucy Pellicane, who I AKA call the Bucket. Lucy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dad. Happy to be here.
Lucy, how old are you?
I'm 16.
I am 16.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
What grade are you in?
I'm going into my senior year of high school.
Excellent. Well, Lucy, we know that your dad has done a whole host of things. Not even teeny weensy, like a lot. It doesn't even fit on the screen here. It's just like a lot. A lot of things wrong, but I did a few things right. Maybe. We'll find out. And I want to ask you, what are some things that your dad has done well?
Well, I was actually thinking about this, and you've done a couple very good things that I have to admit. I think Noelle might have also said this, but you always pushed us to do things that we never wanted to do. So always getting us out of our comfort zones. Like martial arts, skiing, basically anything physical that we did, I did not want to do. Mountain biking, rowing, all of the things. But it turned out to build more resilience in me and more adaptability to things that I've never done before. And then thank you for bringing me up in the church. That was also very good.
Excellent. Let's break these two things down. Number one is the whole physical aspect. Were you a tomboy, or were you someone who really liked to go outside, or were you like more of the homebody type?
No, I was for sure the more homebody type, like mommy. But I was very resistant to doing outside activities, but you always forced me to do them. And that was actually really helpful because, yeah.
When you say I forced you to do one, I like put you in a chicken wing, like, yo, do it now. Like, what did that look like for our listeners?
Sometimes it was uglier than I would like to admit, but I would throw like tantrums and I would like go up in my room and be like, no, I don't want to do it. And then I would like go and cry in my room. And then you would just be like, nope. You were always very hard line. This is the boundary. You are doing it. And at some point, I just kind of realized that I wasn't going to win. And so I had to do it. Yeah.
That is
and
really
also, I really wanted the attention of like throwing tantrums, and then mommy would come in and be like, "Oh, are you okay?" I really wanted that attention. Yeah, thank you. And you didn't give it.
I didn't give you that attention. Interesting. Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
To me. Yeah, you stopped giving it to me, and so I said, "Oh, this is not going to work anymore. I have to do what he says."
Interesting. But I gave you attention another way. So I remember I did this, especially during COVID. I would, quote unquote, kidnap you guys, and I wouldn't give you a choice, like whether it be rowing early in the morning. We do this rowing thing. Tell the audience what I like to do. Come on.
Oh yes, we the siblings and I are still fighting this to this day. But almost every Sunday, my dad likes to take one of us out about at 5:00 in the morning before church to go rowing in the bay.
It's a Rembrandt painting. It's gorgeous.
It's a very gray Rembrandt painting, but it's really it actually is nice. But waking up at 5:00 or at 4:00 is not very nice.
About 4:00. The sun rises typically right now about 5:42, so we want to be there for first light if possible, because when the sun comes through, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Okay. So what does this look? What does this look like now?
So you wake us up, and then we drive to
now us as individuals. So they all pick. So I either pick on Ethan. Well, when Ethan was younger, now he's an adult. But when they're in my house, I wouldn't give them a choice. Like you're rowing with me, and there would just be a good excuse, Daddy. I
still give them these excuses, by the way.
Daddy, my itsy bitsy toe.
Okay.
So there's these excuses and whatnot, but I've determined I want to give my kids this attention individually, but I want to do it what I think is a constructive way, us doing something like that's adventurous, a little bit out there. And we'll row, for those of you who are in San Diego, we'll row from basically National City Pepper Park and row all the way to the Cays, which is in Coronado, and come back, which is roughly about an hour. It's very, very beautiful, but it's demanding physically. She's in her own boat. I'm in my own boat, and we're going for it. It's great, but it creates this. For me, it creates a bond. I find like we get to connect. We get to get away from everything. Otherwise, there's always like distractions and stuff. Would you disagree with that?
No, yeah, it definitely does. As much as it's uncomfortable and a little unpleasant to wake up, it is really relaxing to be on the water and then to spend time with just the two of us. It's really nice.
Hmm. And then I did the same thing. I remember doing this during COVID because we were all going stir crazy. I remember doing the mountain biking
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, okay. And they would always be, Daddy, I got the homework. Daddy, I got the homework. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I think two things. I just want to elaborate for our guests. You mentioned it earlier, and I think I want to highlight this. You said like, I'm not gonna win. Like I realized
Mm-hmm.
my dad was gonna. Tell me about this.
There's a certain point where the child realizes that the parent is so strong in one area that no matter what they do, they will not cave. And at that
Hmm.
point, the child will just give up. And that's where I kind of I reached that point. I don't know when. Sometimes I still try to fight you in some areas, but
Hmm.
most of the time I cave because I realize that it's very important to you and you're not going to cave, so I'll just do it.
Now this is interesting. So I'm literally fighting for time many times
Mhm.
for us to be together.
Yeah.
Like when we do these things, and there's some things that whether it be skiing, boating, mountain
Mhm.
biking, ultimate frisbee. Ultimate frisbee is more of a family thing, but there's really not a democracy here, right? Like, do you feel, in case you get if you're
I feel
injured,
like
that's
now
another
that
thing,
we're
right?
older, it's more of a democracy. When we were
Hmm.
younger, it was like, no, we're doing this. But
Hmm.
now that Ethan's an adult, Noelle's an adult still in college, I'm the one who has the least say. But since we're all older, I think it has changed a little bit in terms of like family
Hmm. Hmm.
activities because we do all want to do things together.
So for the dads, I just want to put this in here before we go to the next question. What I did right.
Hmm.
You said there were two things, but I want to talk about this. Is I was in the mindset, especially with an elementary school student, when I'm going to win. I'm going to like,
Hmm.
you are going to go boating. You are going to do mountain biking. You will learn how to ski. You will. I am going to
Hmm.
win. I might not be the best dad, but I still want to spend time with you, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And like, we're going to do this. So I
Hmm.
was kind of, I'm kind of resolved, but I think that resolve is really good because when your values are clear, your decisions are easy, and it
Hmm.
just was really easy for me. Just like this is something we want to do together. Because my experience is as you guys get older, this time together is a lot harder.
It is a lot harder. Yeah, I think I've
You know.
actually never thought of it as you wanting to spend time with us, which is interesting. I've always thought of it like, oh, he wants to do his crazy activity again, which is interesting. But yeah, I do see that. That's really special.
Even this last week, Ethan and I, my 21-year-old, we rode to Coronado and back. And to me, it was really sweet. Like he did this for Father's Day. He's not going to be our Father's Day, but he did this for Father's Day. And we're like, Rowan, you mentioned there was the physical things, martial arts, all these
Hmm.
physical things, but you mentioned the second area. What was the second area you mentioned?
It was that you brought us up in the church, and like
Oh, yeah.
the Lord has always been a big part of our lives, of course.
Mm,
It's funny because I've kind of always thought, you know how people like grade testimonies of like how severe they are? I always kind of thought
mm,
that my
ab-
testimony was like not that valuable because I've always been raised in the church. Like I feel like I've known Jesus all my life. But it's really been a tremendous blessing just to have a father figure like you that reflects Christ and reflects our Heavenly Father. And also just to have that community right from the start of my life.
I think the best testimony of all is in the fact that we did all this terrible stuff, I think the best testimony of all is that God kept you. The
Mm-hmm.
same way my desire was to keep you from harm and evil. My prayer for you is that I'd much rather you have that testimony than for you to be hurt and wounded and all this kind of stuff happen and then
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
have redemption. Just it's a much better. But yeah, I think you'll appreciate that more as you get older. So,
Yeah.
but along those lines, let's talk about that for a second. Was it like negotiable? Like, I don't want to go to church today. Was that like an option for you?
No, it was always just a family habit of going to church, and I don't think there was a time where I actively disliked church, but even if I did, I knew it was just something our family
Mm,
did. And I know, I feel like, praise the Lord, I've always had, well, it's been up and down sometimes, but like, I feel like the Lord has always
sure, of course.
been here. So I always kind of think it's
Hmm.
essential. So,
Excellent. Now, going to church is essential in your mind, but it was ever optional. Like, I don't want to go to church today. Can you be like, no, I'm not going to church today, Dad? Was that
nope.
like a thing?
No, no.
No.
I feel like
Oh,
that was
there
another
would be a thing if you
one of those
another
cases
what?
where another case where it's like, no, that's not like, no, you're not getting a phone. No, we don't not go to church. Like, it's one of those things that is already, it's pre-written and you can't change it, you know?
Mhm, mhm. So
Yeah.
for us, normal, like there's certain normal standards, right? There's just like
Hmm.
it's normal for us to wear like clothes in the house. It's normal, right? It doesn't
Yes,
mean it's kind of
yes.
silly, but it's normal for
Mhm.
me to brush my teeth every day. It's normal
Yeah.
for me to eat, have free access to the refrigerator. That's normal,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it seems like it's also normal for us on Sundays we go to church.
Yeah.
Before we go to this third thing, I want to talk about church just for a second,
Oh, okay, okay.
because you don't know the other side of the coin. And that is, and it's really appropriate for a lot of dads, going to church when you're little, especially when you're a little bundle, is
Hmm.
hard. It's really,
Hmm.
really hard. It's very difficult to enjoy the service. It's very taxing. You talk about being a homebody. Kids don't want to freely go to, Sunday school. They don't want to like go and do this stuff. It's hard, that attachment issues. Some of the first time you're
Hmm.
actually detached from your mother or your father. For you, it was at church. Actually, it was with grandma and grandpa and other people we know. But the next area
Yeah.
with strangers, if you will, was in
Hmm.
that church setting, and that can be really, really challenging. But it in my mind's thinking, as we're raising adults, not children, it helps accelerate your growth. So if
Yeah.
you've been go
Mhm.
ahead.
Yeah, I think that's why it's all the more beneficial. Like, I volunteer with the kids at my church and
Mhm.
where I used to, and you do see kids like getting very attached, and some of them can't even come in, and then the parents just say, okay, okay, we'll keep you in the service. But it's really, if you say, no, you have to go to the Sunday school, these are very kind people, the child will learn, like we learned and I learned to like actually have fun at Sunday school, and it was really a blessing. So it's a good
Yeah,
way to
yeah.
accelerate that growth for sure.
Yes, yes. And in addition to that, the other thing that's there in the church is, as you get older, as the kids get older, there was an author, I forget her name, but you can look up the book. It's called Sticky Faith. And I'm not going to do the book justice, but basically, one of the things that she found out was she studied all these kids when they were in college and determined that many of these kids already left the faith while they're in high school, and studied the ones specifically, the ones that kept their faith. And the ones that kept their faith, it was interesting. They actually had meaningful relationships with adults that were inside the church,
Hmm.
that were encouraging them in their faith. And your mom and dad, in a unique way, we've tried to foster this as much as possible, where you would have relationships outside of us with other
Hmm.
meaningful adults that can speak into your life.
Yeah, you guys always did a very good job with that and encouraging us to find adults and ask them out
Hmm.
to lunch or something like that. Yeah, you guys always did a good job encouraging that.
It's very healthy.
Hmm.
But it needs to be said, for the parent, it's hard. It's hard for them.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about this. So it's hard in the early years. It's always going to be hard. Anytime you need to put that, we want to go to church, we want to make that a normal thing. Obviously, it gets a little bit harder as the child gets a little bit older, because they don't know what normal is and then they associate normal as we don't go to church. But I'm very curious. You're in what grade again?
Going to my senior year.
Senior year. Okay. So if you had a dad where, this is different. Let's break it down. Elementary school. What would you say to that dad and their kids aren't going to church? What would you say to that dad?
I would say if you think church is important, which I hope you do, then it should be important for your kids too. And I would just say start going.
What about
Start going.
Okay, when they're young. What about like sports and different things, and what kinds of these other commitments?
I think that the church is really important because, the Bible says to seek God first, above sports, above other activities. And the church is where you get connected to fellow believers. It's the body of Christ. So I think it's really essential above sports and other things. And I think I invite you, if you're not going to church or if you're thinking about going back to church, to invite you to prayerfully say, where do I want to go to church? Because it's really an important thing. And where does it fall in your family values,
Mm-hmm. Let's break this up into two categories. One would be the early years, then I'm going to say after puberty, which is after like 12, 13 years old. So you have that girl that's either in high school or junior high, and dad just thinking, I kind of dropped the ball and kids don't go to church. And what do you think dad should do?
I think you should have an honest conversation with your daughter or son and say, hey, I know we haven't been going to church, but I think it's really important for our family. I think we really need to connect to God. And I want to try out this Sunday, this church, and we're all going to go as a family. And then go, try it out. And honestly, really pray that you get connected. Pray that your child actually wants to go to church. I think prayer is the most essential thing. And I think part of the reason why Noelle, Ethan, and I are so rooted in our church and in Christ is because you guys have prayed for us, and Mommy has prayer group and that active.
It just needs to be said that it's going to be hard for whether it be elementary school with the diapers. I remember just countless services as a season where I would bring you guys to church, and I'd be in the balcony, and you guys at our old church, no one was in the balcony. You guys would be crawling around, and I'd be trying to listen to the sermon, like chasing you. And we would like play games in there. But the fact that we were in church was a good thing. Like it was good and healthy.
Yeah.
And then it just made the problem. Regardless of when you do it, it's gonna be awkward for you. That needs to be said. And that leadership is necessary for the dad to be like, okay, this is north, and this is the way we're going right now. Jump into that third point.
No, I was going to say the third thing, well, you did other things too, but I know you say that you're not raising a child, you're raising an adult. And I really felt like that has reflected in the way that you've prepared us for adulthood. And I see that with the launching of Noelle and Ethan, in terms of really helping us with financial stuff, like right from the get-go, like teaching us how to invest in the stock market, like practical stuff. And then you also never treat us like babies. Like you never baby us at all. So I think that's helpful, treating us like we're independent, and that responsibility on us helps develop growth faster.
Let's talk about, you got two things, the financial component, and then you got the babies. I want to talk about the babies first. When you say I didn't treat you like babies, what do you mean?
Like you always expected us to do what's right. And you always, I feel like there's an underlying expectation, like that we get good grades, that we do our homework. Like you never ask us to do these things, but at the same time, there's an underlying thought that you expect excellence and that our family is excellent. So I feel like that really has formed us to be and to try to be excellent. Yeah.
Okay. So when baby excellent. Okay, got it. Have I ever wanted you you ever felt pressure on me as a dad that your grades and who you are makes me look better?
No, not really. In terms of grades, I think we all have better grades than you did when you were a student. So, yeah, I didn't really feel pressured in terms
C's
of
get degrees,
grades.
people. C's get degrees.
But there is, I feel like it's more an expectation than a pressure.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. What
Yeah.
are our elder people? What are our core values?
Right? Others best, smile. Robs,
Um,
do what's right. Do unto others, do your best. And smile.
So for your school, if you came home with a B or a C, you think Daddy would hit the fan?
Um,
She's never gotten a C in her life, by the way, people. A little newsflash here. A little try hard
yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
No, you would be, I feel like you would be surprised, but that wouldn't be the first time you would hear about it. I would be like, I have a C, before you would
Uh-huh.
actually get the report card. But
Uh-huh.
that wouldn't
Uh-huh.
happen.
Sometimes it's really interesting. Sometimes when students get these letter grades, it truly isn't a reflection of their intelligence, right?
hmm
Like some of your friends that have gone sideways, it really more is a state of their emotional state, right?
hmm
And it goes back to
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier about them whining in their bedroom. It's a way of them like asking for help, if you will, or
hmm
attention, right?
hmm
Because they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They just need guidance in a sense.
hmm
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
I think you would
really.
actually be, if I got a B, wouldn't you like throw me a party or something?
It's kind of funny. So back in the day, in kindergarten, they would get like different color grade. They'd get different colors, and my kids were they all kind of tried hard. They're like, we just, I don't know why. Maybe you can help us out with that, Lucy. I wasn't really a tiger dad. We just did our best and we did it unto the Lord. And I
hmm
encouraged them to get like a yellow. A yellow would be like a demerit. I remember especially with Ethan and Noel, that when they would got a yellow, especially with Ethan, I like challenged him. He had that firstborn, like I'm going to be the best kind of thing. And I was like, Ethan, I need you to get a yellow one day. He's like, I'm not doing it, Dad. No, no, no. We're going to celebrate when you get the yellow. We're going to have a party. And that was my way. That was my way of communicating that there's lots of grace when we
hmm
make boo-boos. Right? You don't have to be the
Yeah,
best. You just have to do your best. There's a big
that's
difference.
good.
You mentioned, so this last point here was, remind me real quick, what was the point?
That you prepare us for adulthood.
Prepare us for
Do you want to talk
adulthood.
about the financial side?
Yeah, thank you. The financial system. So specifically, like, what happened when you were 13 years old?
I started. Did I open my bank account when I was 13?
Yes, you
Okay.
got a bank account. Yes.
And
So,
then I started getting an allowance or more. It was based off of my work for mommy because I edit her podcast. So I
mhm,
started
mhm.
like working for my allowance and then getting that monthly. And then now that I've gotten better at working and I'm doing more hours, then that has increased and it mainly goes to invest in the stock market. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. So again, it's just to expose them. And I just think this is a gift that you can give our kids. My dad gave it to me. And I just find it amazing as I talk to different clients and adults. Some people don't have this rapport of investing, or they have the rapport themselves, but they didn't give this gift to their kids. So this is really something that you can really do. You can open up custodial accounts for them. I wanted my kids to be responsible for dollars and cents, and I wanted them to also feel the pain of losing money and what that meant. So, like one of the things that I would do, oh, Lucy, this is great. This is great. This is great. Tell them the story. Let's talk about Winston. Who's Winston?
Winston is our dog. Okay, wait. Before I say this, let me go back. Every time we got money, you always taught us to do 50, 40, 10. So save 50%, you can spend 40 and tithe 10%. So like
Yeah.
ever since we were little, like any little birthday money we got, like that was what we did. So money was always very valuable. So much so, this is a side note, but Ethan made me pay $20 a month for 4 months for his Lego Millennium Falcon. I'm so upset that I bought it. Anyways, so Winston is our dog, and whenever I don't do his water or his food when it's
Mm,
empty, he finds me a range of from like $10 to $20.
mm, mm, mm. And
Mm-hmm.
did you like What do you think about that? You think your daddy's mean?
Yeah, you're so mean, Dad. No, you're fine. It's fine. I mean, it definitely gives a good incentive to do it. If you didn't find me money, Winston would probably go hungry or you would do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what I would do is I would continually ask, remind the kids. I would nag them. I'd be like, oh, don't forget to feed the dog. Don't forget to give the dog water. And then one day, the dog, I like snapped. I snapped. And I really did. I really snapped. I was like, I am not asking you anymore. I'm not going to ever ask you again. If the dog doesn't have food, it's $10. And if he doesn't have water, if it's beneath a certain line, it's like 25. So, and then I started enforcing it. And you know what happened? It's like miraculous. It's amazing. Lucy's very busy. Lucy is very, very big. I'm pleased that she could fit me into her schedule today. I mean, she's got so much going on.
Well, I'm on summer break now, so there you
Oh,
go.
you see, she fit me in. She fit me in. She's on break. So, but she would be very, very busy when she'd be running out the door, late for class, if you will, and she couldn't feed the dog. I didn't care. It was $25. I see that dog with his little paw hitting the water thing like it was dry, and he's hitting it. He's hitting it. Ooh, daddy just snaps. $25. Give it to me. And Winston and I, we went on Amazon. We bought like toys for him and stuff and goodies. Now we're being silly, but it's easy for me as a dad just to this is the rule, and when the rule is broken, there's consequences to it. If he doesn't have water, it's $25. Just like automatic. It's not like, oh my goodness, you're sick, or oh my goodness, you're this, oh my goodness, you had this big exam. Like there is life that happens, and I'll say, when Lucy runs out the door, I'll say, I got it, and I won't make her do it.
You are not more lenient now, but like, yeah, you are.
There is grace there, but for the most part, if he doesn't have food or water, you're getting a fine, and that to me that's liberating, because there doesn't need to be this emotional like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it really easy. Yeah, and then okay. Anything else that Daddy did right? I'm very curious.
Nope, nothing else.
Okay.
I don't know. You are a good listener most of the time. If it's something silly, you're not a good listener. But if I come to you with like something serious, you are a very good listener, and you always have wisdom to share. Like you're very approachable, and like that I can talk to you, both you and mommy, about really anything, and that there's grace there, and you'll always treat me like Jesus would treat me. Yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Well, as you get older, Lucy, we're going to miss you when you leave the home, but we'll always be by your side for sure and praying for you. Any last words of encouragement that you have for the dads today? Because this is a really unique perspective, because they're seeing it from their daughter's eyes. Mm-hmm. So any perspective that you can share with that dad to help them be the better dad or leader, or offer the support that their daughter or son needs while they're in high school?
Yeah, I would just say, don't be afraid to be the leader for your family. The Lord has built the family structure to be led by the Father. So be that leader for your kids and really have fun while you have them at home. Do the activities, do the uncomfortable things, train them in playing piano and other activities and other hobbies. Don't just get sucked into the screens. Train them to do other activities, and they'll really, really thank you for it, because they'll be leagues ahead of their peers, and they'll actually know how to do other stuff besides scrolling and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a lot of fun, Lucy. Thank you so much for sharing so freely today. Really deeply appreciate your thoughts.
Thanks, Dad.
Ooh, one last thing I need to add here is that, I don't know, guys, if you know this, but I've been a coach. I've coached well over 300 people in my lifetime. And if you need a dad to come alongside you and to encourage you, make you think about things, please see the show notes. I would love to be a part of your journey.